Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also want to add my voice into this Snow Paper number 3 of 2025, Honorable Speaker, and I want to appreciate the extensive public participation which was conducted for this sessional paper, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I've looked at the report, and I will not really want to dwell on the models, because Honorable Speaker, when you get to the models, it becomes very complicated for the common mwananchi. But I must appreciate that models are also not easy, Honorable Speaker. Those of us who are economists, that is the line we train in, and it's not easy. But I just want to pick from this report about 3 issues, Honorable Speaker, which I think really the committee has done well in terms of improving the original seasonal paper. But I think there are still some gaps. In economics, Honorable Speaker, we talk about necessary conditions and sufficient. So you could be having the necessary, but sufficiency is not achieved, Honorable Speaker. I want to start with the issue of buyer selection, as the report talks about buyer selection, Honorable Speaker. The report says that the public did express concerns on how the investors were evaluated. And the committee is in agreement with that statement, and just below there they say, for future, they would want that improved. Now, Honorable Speaker, where we are today, in terms of trust of the current government, this government, Honorable Speaker, is experiencing very serious trust deficit. And that being the case, if I were the chairperson of these 2 committees, this matter would have taken time to make sure that even as we move to the future, Honorable Speaker, Kenyans have a bit of confidence. To me, I think we achieved a necessary condition. We did not achieve sufficient condition on that particular matter.
What is out of
the second issue, Honorable Speaker?
Just take your seat, Honorable Makali. What is out of order?
Honorable Speaker, you know, I don't like to interrupt Honorable Makali Mulu, but he's saying that this government is suffering from trust deficit. And I was just wondering, may he substantiate how a government that has the trust of millions of Kenyans is suffering from any trust deficit, unless it is, you know, he can say that and say it is in his opinion, but he cannot state it as a statement of fact. Because I could also say, you know, I had Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka the other day say, purport to fire the Honorable Junet Mohammed as the leader of minority. Well, clearly, he knew he holds no capacity to fire Honorable Junet Mohammed as a minority leader. In any case, the only person he can fire is Robert Mbui and Makali Mulu. So Makali Mulu cannot purport that this government suffers from trust deficit. And Makali, you know, if there was any trust deficit, you know which people Kenyans have not trusted over the years. It has not been the William Ruto administration. You know which people.
Honorable. Are you done?
Honorable Speaker, you know, for any government to know whether it suffers from trust deficit from the people, because governments are put in place by the people, the only barometer to measure that trustometer you can use is elections. The recent by-elections, those on November 27th, all the positions were taken by this government, the broad-based government. The recent elections this month, last month, the 4 elections from Isiolo to Vihiga to Mbere, all of them clean sweep by the broad-based administration. This is not a government that suffers from trust deficiency or trust deficit. It is the disunited opposition that people cannot trust with anything, even leadership positions in the opposition.
Honorable Makali Mulu, you want to...
You know, Honorable Speaker, I've realized that when serious brains of this House start to make comments, we get this kind of points of order, so that you disorganize us, not to push our agenda. What I'll do, Honorable Speaker, I don't know why my friend Kimani keeps on dragging the name of Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka into this House. Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka is not seated here. every time you stand, is this the animal which scares you, or what is happening? Because if it doesn't scare you at all, why do you keep on mentioning him? Honorable Speaker, let me get to my second point, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I'm helping this report because I'm a very, very patriotic Kenyan, Honorable Speaker. And many times when I make my recommendations here, as a scholar, I want to add value to this kind of debate so that whatever comes out, it will help this country. And Honorable Speaker, even as I talk, and as Honorable Ndidi makes contribution, we know very well. Yesterday there was a very clear statement that when the broad-based government is together, this House has to say yes. We are aware of that statement. So what we are going to do is we are going on record so that things can remain that way. We know when you come together as a broad-based government, this is on paper will pass. But we must say the truth about this on paper. You might like it, you might not like it. Now the thing is, Honorable Speaker. The second issue I want to address, Honorable Speaker, is the issue of 3 items you have been mentioned here. And Honorable Chair, Finance, this is your report, it's not my report. You have discussed the issue of national security and how Safaricom contributes or plays a key role matters national security. You have discussed the issue of financial ecosystem and how Safaricom supports our financial ecosystem in this country. You have talked about the extensive networks Safaricom has in terms of dealers and agents, Honorable Speaker. Now, these 3 items, your report says you have put a provision in this season of paper that they will be safeguarded, which is a very good statement. To me, that is a necessary provision. It is not sufficient, Mr. Chairman. Why am I saying so? Honorable Speaker, look at Safaricom PLC. It's a company, it's a corporate entity where we have shareholders. Now, with this being a corporate entity with shareholders, who is the majority shareholder? It's Fondocom company. It will be 54.9%. In game theory, in a situation where you are a player and you are a dominant player, you call the shots. So assuming we sign this thing, Honorable Speaker, and tomorrow Safaricom says we are not making profits in Kenya, being the main shareholder, we want to relocate our company to Ethiopia. Will you stop them? So some of the things we are doing here are good, Honorable Speaker, but we are saying, Honorable Speaker, they are not sufficient. If we want to help Kenyans, we must make sure that before we finalize this session of paper, Honorable Speaker, we have clear provisions to ensure that what we are discussing about national security, issues of financial ecosystem, issues of our dealers and agents are properly protected. Because by the time this is on paper and the agreements will be signed, Honorable Speaker, it must be very clear, Honorable Speaker, that this information is properly captured. Otherwise, we will be saying that time, we didn't know. This is a company. If I don't make profits, I can say I close my company. If I close my company, how do you tell me to employ employees when I'm not making profits?
Take your seat, Honorable Makali Mulu. The Honorable Kimani Kuri, I'm really avoiding points of order so that we can keep to the time for debates. What is out of order?
Yes, but Honorable Speaker, it is very important because this is a very phenomenal decision that's been made by the people of the Republic of Kenya, by this House. So it's very important that we put things in order. If you read, if the Honorable Dr. Makali Mulu cared to read our report and what is provided for in the order paper, we are providing that there shall be express instructions in the share purchase agreement that will be contained in the Articles of Association and the Memorandum of Understanding for Safaricom PLC to safeguard the interests of the employees and to safeguard the interests of those agents. We have expressly provided for it, and it is one of the resolutions that this House will vote for. We're not just going to vote about the partial divestiture. We are saying we're not approving the share paper as it is. We are recommending that for it to be approved, then there must be express provisions in the share purchase agreement for the interests of safeguarding the matter of security of Safaricom being such a key infrastructure in terms of our security for the employees and for the shared prosperity of M-Pesa agents and all those agents. So it's expressly provided for in the order paper. And what this Honorable House, if the finding merit in our report approves, then it shall be contained in the share purchase agreement that will indeed be contained in the Articles of Association and the Memorandum of Understanding between Vodacom and Safaricom PLC and GOK.
Oh, you are right, the Honorable Kimani Kuri. I see what you are saying in the additional resolutions B 2, 5, and 6. But let us allow Honorable Makali Mulu, because
you know, Honorable
as you rightly say, Honorable Makali Mulu is enriching the report. He's actually not opposing the sale, if I hear him right.
Actually, what I was saying, Honorable Speaker, I'm aware of what is written here. But I'm looking at decision-making in a corporate entity where you have shareholders. How is it done? Because it will get to a point where the shareholders will have to make a decision. And mostly, in most cases, it is by voting. So I'm saying, assuming we'll have this policy document, or this on paper, Honorable Speaker, saying what we are saying, but the decision-making in a corporate entity takes a different decision. So I'm saying, even before we make it official, Honorable Speaker, it is important we safeguard these issues we have written here. They are very important things, but the way they are now, as an economist, I see a necessary situation, not a sufficient situation. I'm pushing for the two committees before we finalize to put us into a sufficient position so that we are assured as Kenyans we will get value for this document. And in that case, Honorable Speaker, I really want to say, sale of Safaricom is not sale of a small goat in the market. It is sale of a big cow in the market. And a very fat cow. We cannot do it the way we want to do it, Honorable Speaker. It must be done in a very structured manner, in a manner where Kenyans are convinced that we are getting value for money. Let's avoid these side shows in the perennial year where we bring politics into it. This is a serious matter. With those remarks, Honorable Speaker, I want to say those gaps must be addressed if we want to get it right. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you very much for the opportunity, and at the outset,